We are looking at the model of ear. So we divide the ear into three sections or three regions. So you can see here, this is all your outer ear up to this point. And where you have the eardrum with the three tiny bones on the back, that's your middle ear, and everything else forms the inner ear. So external or outer ear, middle ear, internal or inner ear. Okay, three regions. So now let's see the structures in each region. So if you see the outer ear, you have the auricle or pinna. This is made of plastic cartilage. You remember your different types of cartilages. The name is auricle or pinna. This one, the passage here in the external ear, they call it external auditory meatus or external acoustic meatus. Meatus means passage. And then you hit the eardrum, the sound waves pass through the meatus and then it hits the eardrum. Now it vibrates your eardrum. The eardrum, you can see this whole structure. This is called tympanic membrane. Tympanic membrane is your eardrum. And then you see these tiny bones. There are a couple of them here, and the third bone is located here, but they do attach to each other. I'll show you how it works. So when the sound waves hit the tympanic membrane, it vibrates, and then it vibrates the tiny bones. Together these bones are called ear ossicles or auditory ossicles, but each one has a name. So I'm going to explain more closely now. So you can see here one bone. These are like this. One bone has a round head with these tiny projections. This is called malleus, M-A-L-L-E-U-S. Malleus attaches to the membrane, like you can think of M and M. Malleus attached to the membrane. The other bone with the pointed head is kind of triangular. If you see the head of this bone, this is your incus. Incus attaches to the malleus. Then the incus will articulate with the next bone. You can see here, this is your stapes. So you can see how they connect to each other. Okay, so you can see a hole here. That hole looks oval shaped. That hole is called oval window. And so when the tympanic membrane vibrates, you can see how the vibrations are passed on from the membrane to the malleus to the incus and then to the stapes. Then this whole inner ear, the structures in the inner ear, they vibrate. Okay, the vibrations are picked up by cells inside these structures, and the signals are converted, sound signals are converted into electrical signals by this nerve, the vestibulocochlear nerve, cranial nerve number 8, and sent to the brain for further processing. Now let's look at the structures in the inner ear or the internal ear. This nail-like structure, that's your cochlea. These three half circles, those are your passages filled with fluid. We call these semicircular canals. These are attached to each other by a passage called vestibule. Cochlea, okay, let me use the pointer. Cochlea, semicircular canals, three of them, and then the vestibule that connects both structures. Okay, then there is another round window here. They call it by the same name, round window. That's below the vestibule. Okay, and the vestibulocochlear nerve is back here. So these are the structures for your ear. But before we wrap it up, let's look at the inner ear. Here there's a passage which is basically the continuation of the passage we saw earlier. This is called the auditory tube, or sometimes they call it internal auditory meatus, like the external auditory meatus. Thank you.